Welcome to the Jazz Piano School podcast, episode number 238. My name is Brendan Lowe, creator and founder of Jazz Piano School. In this particular podcast, in harmony with our new Playbook release happening on Black Friday of this year, I'm going to be teaching you my 3-step solo piano system that is going to expose the crucial and necessary steps you absolutely have to achieve in order to get an amazing solo piano sound. Now, if you're interested in the Black Friday playbooks and the Black Friday amazing discount that we're going to be offering, go to jazzpianoschool.com/Black Friday 2021, and you'll get all the information you need to view our Black Friday offer and get more information on the playbooks as well. So with that being said, let's dive right into this episode. Here we go. So the very first thing, when you're playing solo piano in a slow manner, and this is going to work again, like I said, for medium swing tunes as well, but for fast tunes, it doesn't really work like that. The first way that beginners usually do this is by doing this. Sorry, I have my volume down a little bit. Right, so they play root position chords here, and this tune is called The Very Thought of You. And that's how the ballad would go. So essentially root position chords, melody. So for beginners, that's essentially going to be your first step, your very first step, right? It's just playing those root position chords with the melody. Okay, that's very clear. It's very simple to understand. And the greatest thing about this particular system or this playbook, kind of being derived from the solo piano playbook within Jazz Piano School, which we're releasing, is that here's the next step. All right, so the next step is essentially to take the shells, the 3rd and 7 from our root position chords, and place them underneath the melody. Just like this. So now, instead of doing this, right, a little muddy kind of texture, we have a brighter, more beautiful texture. Right, so now we have shells underneath the melody, 7, 3, and the melody on top. Now, when there's no melody being played in any tune, right, it doesn't matter, ballad, medium swing, fast swing, you're just going to play the shells with the bass notes in your left hand. So bass notes in your left hand, shells in your right hand. So all I did was just play the shells, right? So I went D flat major 7, 3 and 7, C minor 7, E flat sus, right? 4 and 7. Then we move to our next melody, our next phrase, I should say. Now, in this particular case, this is a great example. When the melody note is a shell, meaning the melody note here is actually the 6th of a chord. So an A flat 6 chord, right, would have 3 and 6 in it. You don't need to double the melody here, although you can. So you can play the melody like this. Right, so you have 3 and 6, or you could make it a little thicker, a little bit more lush, and double, like place your shell here and think of this as the melody. Right, that also sounds great. You can roll it a little bit, add some texture. And then again, there's a lot of space in this tune, The Very Thought of You, so you just have these shells, and then you continue on. 3, 6 melody. Sorry, that note. 3 melody, 7, right? Okay, melody here. 3. Okay, this is A flat over C. So the shells of a triad are essentially just 3 and 5. So I have the 5 here, the melody, and the 3 is in the bass, so that's all I need. Now here I have my shells, melody on top. So this particular system, when you have melody and shells below your melody, is going to be your next step in the playbook to essentially creating a really, really amazing sound for solo piano. And it's a great system. I still play a lot like this, right? Just shells with melody on top. Now, if you can't do that, that's going to be your goal. That's going to be your goal if this is your particular route that you're going down. If you want to create, kind of and even if this was swung, right? It's still this, I'm still using the system, but in a medium swing kind of swing fashion. Sorry. Right? You can still use this system for medium swing tunes, ballads, all the way up to medium swing tunes, and it's going to sound great, right? So a lot of people, a lot of you, the listeners out here might be more advanced than that, and I would clearly expect that too, listening. So how do we take this to the next level? So what we're going to do is we're going to split up the shells now. The next step is to split the shells between two hands. So instead of playing both shells in our right hand, we're going to split them. We're going to split them. So our left hand's going to take a shell, our right hand's going to take a shell. Now the reason for this, the reason this is an important step is because when you split the shells, what's going to happen is it's going to allow your fingers to have more opportunities to play colors and chord tones, which we're going to do in the next step. All right? Just like this. Right? So you need to be able to work through the whole tune, and there's 3 left-hand components you're going to need. 1, 7, 1 and 3, and 1 and 10. And I'm going to show you how those work right now. So here's 1 and 7. So my left hand takes one of the shells. The remaining shell that my left hand is not playing, my right hand's going to take. Right? Now moving to the next chord. I don't want to have to jump all the time. 1 and 7. Right? I want to be able to voice lead. And the way we're going to do that is by going from 1 and 7 to 1 and 3. That's why we need 1 and 3 available. Now, 1 and 3, my left hand's playing the third. My right hand obviously has to play the 7 here. 7. Right? Okay, then I'll just continue on. Now, 1 and 10 is an option, right? Because maybe I want to spread out the voicing. I'm going to show you that in a second, but I can do it here. I can play 1 and 4 and 7. Now, if you can't reach this, I can't. I just jump, just like this. And later on in the melody, when we get up to here, over this B flat minor 7 chord, I'm going to use 1 and 10 and 7 here. Now, the reason for this, again, is if I were to use 1, 7 here, right, I can reach this, but there may be certain instances where I can't. Like if I play an F minor 7, and I have 1, 7 here, and I play 3 here, what if the melody is a C? I'm not going to be able to reach that C, so we need a different structure to help me reach high melody notes. I can use 1 and 10, 7, melody. Just got it, right? That's why structure 3 is so important. 1 and 10 is very important because it allows us to reach high melody notes and grab both of our shells. But in this case here, I'm going to use this structure for that high melody note in the very thought of you. It goes up very high, right? Just like that. So we have 3 left-hand components we're going to use. 1 and 7, 1 and 3, and 1 and 10. Now your main goal here is to be able to go through the entire tune by splitting the shells, using those components through the entire tune with the melody. Now again, when there's no melody, you're still splitting the shells, right? So I'm going to, again, the melody here is a shell, but I'm still going to split them. Again, here, split. So I have 1, 6, 3. Split, 1, 7, 3. Split, 1, 7, 3. Split. So again, here, actually, because this is only a triad, we don't really need the left hand because we're just playing a triad over top of the C. And then here, right, split, 1, 7, 3. Split, split. So your goal now is to be able to split the shells between both hands with the melody. That's your next step. We went from shells underneath the melody in your right hand to shells split. That's the next progression. Now the final progression that I'm going to teach you right now before I let you go is more of an intermediate to advanced level strategy, because at this point, if you can do what I just taught you, now we have free reign, free will to add any chord tones or colors or extensions into our chord that we want. So now this is where the fun starts to happen. This is where the magic starts to happen. Right? So I'm adding chord tones and colors. I'll slow this down a little bit. Could add sharp 11 there. So what's happening here is I'm simply taking the system that I just taught you and adding chord tones and colors to it. And by colors, I mean extensions. So here, here's our bare bones, 1, 7, 3. I'm adding 1, 9 to this. I could add 13 here. Here's with colors and chord tones. Here's stripped to the system I just taught you. That's the previous step. Here's the next step. Filling out the chord. Now again, on the next chords, there's no melody, so I can fill these however I want. 1, 3, 7, and then fill. So I'm adding 11, 5, 9, 3. These are all spontaneous choices. They're all spontaneous choices by me that I'm making to fill in those colors and chord tones, right? Here's my sus. So this is going to be the next step. And again, if we get more into the tune here, I'm filling a lot. And then I could do this. So I have 1, 10. I'm playing 1, 7, 10 actually. Let me switch this up so that 1, 10, right? Here's our basic system, 1, 10, 7, and melody. And what I added here was this. I think I did that. Actually, I don't remember now. Oh, this. 1, 10, 11, 5. This was the basic, and then 9. Right? So that was a spontaneous choice to add the 11, add the 5, add the 9, and the melody was the doubled 11 on top. So that's the final intermediate to advanced step, is choosing colors and chord tones to add into that previous step that we just worked on, right? And when you start to really nail and master a lot of these steps isolated in a controlled environment so that you really can operate them and execute them, then when you go to start adding colors and extensions, it's going to be so easy for you to create amazing, amazing sounds. But as long as you follow that step-by-step process I just laid out today. And again, a lot of this stuff can work for faster tunes as well. But obviously when the speed increases, your recognition, your spontaneous choice and ability to pick out these things has to increase as well. Hope you guys enjoyed that podcast. Go to jazzpianoschool.com/Black Friday 2021 to get on our Black Friday detail email list and info, which will give you the option to get our Black Friday offer coming in a couple weeks. Thank you so much. Obviously, check out all the amazing free education we have on jazzpianoschool.com. Hope you have an amazing day, and as always, happy practicing.